and taking me out of insanity and putting me back into a realm of reality. But first I would like to start by evaluating the past, focusing in on the present, and preparing for what lies ahead in the future. And I have a question that I'd like to ask all of you. You can put in your hearts and think about it. What is your defining moment of your inspiration? What is that one thing that you are going to need to have that moment of clarity and that moment of enlightenment when your life is going to change forever? I come from a family of dysfunction. Father was an alcoholic. He drank for many, many years when we were young children. So to say that I had a healthy, balanced, functional family life wouldn't be true. I had completely the opposite of that. Because of the alcoholism that caused divorce. And the divorce caused damage in the family unit. And because of that alcoholism, I promised myself that I would never, ever pick up a drink. And that I would never, ever do a drug, because I saw the effects that it had on my family. So, sad to say that as a young boy, all the memories that I have are father and mother fighting over intoxication, fighting over just things. So as I grew up, I found something to do. I found music, and you saw that video up there. That video up there was like 18 years old, 1972. And I played with this group called Malo, and my story pretty much is in this book called The Voices of Latin Rock. And in this book, it chronologizes all of our lives, all the musicians in San Francisco. And I was lucky enough to be 15, 16 years old and playing music on a high level. By the time I was 18 years old, I was a rock and roll star by every definition of the word. I'm not just using those words to, inflate myself, but it's true. I was a rock and roll star. We had a hit on the radio. We were traveling, we were on tour all over the United States and Puerto Rico and Hawaii. We were flying first class. We were on Lear jets. We were driving in limousines. Wherever we went, we had 5-star treatment. The best hotels, the best food, played in Carnegie Hall, played on American Bandstand with Dick Clark. We'd go into record stores and they would shower us with gifts. I was living the life. I was successful. And I was only 18 years old. But I didn't have, at that time, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have somebody, because my father was unavailable, my mother was unavailable, and all I had was I was left to my own devices. So I did what I thought was the best thing to do. In my journey, there wasn't anybody there to tell me, hey, you know what, don't start smoking that weed, dude. Because that's going to affect the gift that you've been given, which is playing music. There was nobody there to tell me that. But, well, who was there to tell me what? People were there to tell me, hey, let me light that joint for you. Let me chop up that line for you. Let me pop that little cognac for you. And I'm only 18 years old. I have all of this, plus success, and I don't know how to manage any of it. So what happens is that the gift of playing music starts to become polluted. And the love and the desire and the passion and the dedication that I had from a little boy when I first started playing drums. You know, gather all the garbage cans and dump them out and go find some sticks and some pie pans and put on my AM radio and, you know, play along with the music. I mean, I was like engrossed, engulfed. I just was like mad about music. And I just sat and dreamed about one day making it. And there I was, in it. My dreams came true. I was there. That was rolling on the river in Vancouver, in Canada. But the drugs and the alcohol were very pervasive, very prevalent. And I had nobody there to protect me. So because of that, I had to leave that. And I left that, and then I went into another journey that lasted for a little bit of time. And to get caught up to the present, when I got married, had children, and my life became dysfunctional. I repeated the cycle that my mom and dad were living. I became completely overtaken with drugs and alcohol for 20 years. And when I tell you that we used drugs, we were just like, you know, smoking a little bit here and there, and, you know, this was on a daily basis for 20 years, and using every drug that was available. And my last drug of choice that brought me down to my knees and brought me into to the moment where I had to make a complete change in my life was when I became completely addicted to smoking crystal meth dream. Somebody turned me onto that drug, and I was completely and 100% hooked the very moment I inhaled that smoke. And that absolutely destroyed my life. I had no more dreams. I had no more aspirations. I had lost everything, been evicted from where I lived. I had lost my car. I owed the government $76,000. I had nothing left because the relationship that I developed with drugs and complete substance abuse took over and ruined my life. But there's a light at the end of this tunnel. When I sought help, during this period of time, my mom became very ill. She developed a brain tumor. And the kind of drug addict that I was that when she was at the hospital dying, I was in the bathroom of that hospital with a crack pipe filled with crystal meth and smoking it. And right outside of that room, she laid in her bed as she was dying. And I couldn't control that urge. I couldn't control that behavior. And then, weeks later, she died. So I had to carry that guilt, and I had to carry that with me, and I sought help. And that's what the first little box is right here. This little box represents Narcotics Anonymous. And I found Narcotics Anonymous to be my lifeline back to reality. And in this box contained 10 coins. And each coin represents 1 year of being clean and sober. Now I have 10 of those. And in the process of being clean and sober and going in that journey and spending countless hours and days and meetings and seeking help and trying to change my life and trying to deal with all the guilt and the shame, I found mentors. I started finding people who really cared and who really wanted to help me. And it didn't matter what it was that I had done, but they were there. So that's what this box represents. And at one of those meetings, there was a young lady there who was sharing her story about what had happened to her. And this brings us into another segment. At this point now, she's talking, she's telling her story. I'm sitting at the meeting at General Hospital in Potrero, and at the end of her share, she says that now she is getting ready to graduate from San Francisco State University with a master's degree in psychology. And I was completely taken back by that. That made such an impact on me that I thought for a moment, is that even possible for me? So I talked to her, and she encouraged me to go to school. So that's how my journey back to college started. So what I did is I asked around, I started finding people who were willing to help me and to guide me. And I was 51 years old when I decided to come back to school. And I went and took the test to see where I placed at the college level. And I was like the lowest guy on the totem pole. I mean, I was like, had to start from the very beginning. But after everything that I had been through, the journey was worth it. And I was willing to do what needed to be done in order to be successful. So I started out, and it was at this wonderful college that I was able to start transforming my life. And in the process of that educational journey, I took up the sport of running. And running became one of the most important aspects of my recovery, because I was able to take negative behavior that I did for 20 years and now turn that clear across the other side of the spectrum and use all of my energy in positive ways. So in this box here, I started running 5Ks, 3 miles, started running 3-milers, started running 10-milers, and I, from there, decided that I thought I could run a full marathon, which is 26.2 miles, for those of you who don't know the distance of a marathon. And so part of my recovery was to start doing positive things for myself in my life in order to fill those voids that I had created because of my substance abuse. So when I came here to college, I started meeting wonderful people like Nate, Jessica, Vanson, Noel, and many more of you out there that extended a hand of love and a hand of compassion and a hand of guidance for me. So I started to become a runner. And in this box here are all my, this is just a small amount, but I started to run races. And in this box here, after years of behavior that was unproductive, I was able to turn it around, and I came to the school and I wanted to be part of the track and field, but there wasn't enough students. So Professor Diaz, he told me, he says, what, just come to my weight fitness class, weight training class, and you can run all that you want. So that's what I did, and I kept myself in the school doing activities that would reaffirm that I was doing the right thing. So in this box here, I have my medals that I've accumulated in 7 years of all of my running. And proud to say that in this bunch right here, these are all first place medals in my age group, because we run in age groups. My age group is right now is 55 to 59-year-olds, and these are just accumulation of like a year. And these are for half marathons and full marathons. And I thought to myself, if I can overcome substance abuse and I can put myself back in school, I can become, I can accomplish so many things. So, one of the greatest accomplishments in my running career is that I have run a 50-mile endurance race. And I did all of this while being in school, while writing papers, while taking midterms, while having a family, while working. But people kept telling me, if you love it that much, you'll get it all done. So these are reminders that if you put your heart and soul into what your passion is, that you can be successful. And then I was at Skyline College for 5 years. And I was a student that came summer, spring, and fall for 5 years. That's how enthusiastic I was about my journey. And in that process, I got involved in doing community service. I got involved in going to the classrooms for Nate and for Jessica, and speaking to college success classes and sharing my story with them, and looking to make a difference in people's lives, and hoping that my story would in turn impact students who may be suffering from the same dilemmas that I have. Because I have seen that in these forums of young people that you all come from different diverse backgrounds, that you all come from different family dynamics. Some are positive, some are negative, and those impact our behavior. They impact what we do, how we feel, and how we feel where our success will come from. So I find it vital and important to come and to be transparent, to talk about drug abuse, to talk about dysfunction in families, and to hopefully make a difference in order to touch somebody's life. Because one person's life there's a village in that person's life. And in this room, 150, 200 people, if everybody in this room were to be successful, which I believe you can be, you will impact everyone in your families, from your little brothers and sisters, to your cousins, to your relatives, to your mom and dad. Because that's what we're here to promote, is to promote success. So, my daughters, I had to do a lot of damage control, because in the 20 years of substance abuse, there's a lot of wreckage along the path. I always say that, the only regrets that I have in my journey is that are the people that I hurt along the way. And especially my family, my daughters, because those are the people that I love and cherish the most. And during that time of my life, I neglected them because I had other priorities. They were all negative priorities, but priorities nonetheless. But it's taken 10 years to restore, because along with recovery, there's restoration. And I had to continue to come to school. I had to continue to do the work, regardless of what was going on outside of community college. It didn't matter if this person had resentment, or this person was angry, or this person felt that I did something that I needed to rectify. Somebody kept telling me, you know what, all of that will work itself out. You just keep coming back, sit in the front row, do the work that you have to do, and the miracle will happen. So in 10 years, all of those things have been promised to me, not only from all the educators here, but from the people in recovery. They told me if I showed up and I did the right thing, that all good things would happen. I started doing esteemable acts He said, if you want to feel esteem, do esteemable acts. Help, give. So on my graduation day, which was a wonderful day because when I went to Balboa High School and graduated from there half a year early, and only because I was leaving on tour to play with Malo, and all the drugging and everything had started way back then. But when I graduated from here, which is the proudest accomplishment to date, is that I graduated from here, and I was 57 years old, 56 years old. And the beauty of my graduation was that my granddaughters were there, my daughters were there, my professors, of course, were all there, and everybody was rejoicing with me. They were so proud because they knew my story. And to see me in my full regalia graduating from Skyline College was a wonderful and memorable occasion. So my story to you guys is that you're here for that experience. You're here for the experience of not only education, but that wonderful experience of graduating. Of that day where you wear your cap and gown, where you're on the dean's list, where you're part of Phi Theta Kappa, where you're part of Puente or the Combine or the whatever club it is, that you have a day of celebration. That's what we're working up to. Not only are these conferences so important to propel us forward and to encourage us to continue forward, but there is a reward at the end of this journey. And this is what I have in here is for all of you. And all of you are going to have this. And I just want to share it with you to inspire you to work hard, no matter what it takes, no matter what obstacles get in your way. Somebody dies. Somebody harms you, harms your family. Something happens at work, you lose your job. Whatever comes your way, you have to remain focused. And you have to continue to come here, because this is what's going to enable you and propel you forward to the next step. Because from here, the next step is the university level. That is the next step. And then from there, there's even higher levels. And I'm here just to encourage you to work hard, to study hard, find help. This isn't a one-man show. People have to extend their hand and ask for help. And I did all of that. I was part of TRIO. And algebra was a monster. And statistics was even a bigger monster. 56 years old, I leave the classroom in tears. I said, this is it. This is the end of the road for me. I cannot go farther because the statistics is going to kill me. I don't understand one-page equations. You know, if I miss one number, the whole thing is wrong. I was like insane with it. And I sat outside of Professor Deemer's class in tears, literally. And I'm crying here because I thought, that's it. All this recovery, all of the school, but, you know, I can't go any further. Classmate came out and said, what is your problem? I said, I can't do this. This is insane. What the hell? This is like 15,000 numbers. She goes, are you through? Are you through? I said, yeah, I'm through. She goes, okay, let's go back into class. Let's sit down. Let's work this out. So I did. I finished the class with a B. And I thought, okay, that's it. You know. But that's what school's all about. No matter what. Writing essays, taking midterms, memorizing things, doing this, doing that. I played in the concert band and I couldn't read music. And I felt like, oh my God, this is like insane. But all the young musicians, 18, 19 years old, reading music like I read a book. And I'm like, bing. And I'm like, oh my God, and they said, it's okay, don't worry about it, we'll help you through it. 16, 17, 18-year-olds bring their hand of love and compassion for this guy who's a musician but can't read music. But I got through it. Jazz band, playing drums, trying to read music, and the teacher's looking at me like, dude, can you read that? And I'm like, a little bit. But I made it through. I didn't quit. It's just like running. I'm running 26 miles and I got 5 more to go. And I'm saying, oh my God, I'm going to die right here. No, you're not going to die. Put one foot in front of the other and just go forward. Drink water. Take a step back, but don't quit. And I don't. I run 50 miles, 54 miles, and many times I wanted to quit. But I said, I've overcome greater obstacles. School, this is it right here. Education, this is what will put you into the future. This is what will prepare you for what is to come. Because things are changing fast. I buy an iPhone today, there's a new iPhone tomorrow. I buy a new laptop today, tomorrow there is no laptop. It's just like in the air. Computer's in the air. It's like, I just paid $500 for this thing. Right? You are the ones. You are the ones that are going to be the inventors, the healers, the diplomats, the ambassadors, the peacemakers. You guys. That's why this is serious, this business of school. If you're here because you have to be here, and you're not here because you love it, then you need to rethink your perspective. If you're not doing what you think you love to do, find a counselor, find a career counselor, find somebody and say, look it, I don't want to do accounting, but my mom wants me to do it. Well, what is it that you want to do? I want to be a singer. I want to sing, I want to write songs, I want to be in a movie. And then that's what you have to do. You have to fight for it. You can't go around life having people tell you what to do. And then you do it and you walk life all miserable. Why are you doing it? Because my mother. Son, you gotta do what I do. He said, Dad, I don't want to be an engineer. I want to play baseball. I want to be an artist. I want to be a lawyer. Why can't parents just say, okay, be that. Be what you want to be, but don't fool around. Don't lie to yourself. Find your passion. In here, my beautiful trio.
Oh, yes.
Without trio. Because I can just walk in and say, I need help. I say, all right, son, I will help you. No, I don't, then we'll see you next week. Right? Mm-hmm. Honors. Yeah. What the hell? Gangster or not? What does this say? This says that I did extra work.
Go ahead.
This says that I don't want to be run-of-the-mill. I wanted to be top of the line. I wanted to be on the 18. So I said, you want to be on the 18? You want to be top of the line? You want to be first class? Well, take 15 more units and do extra work. I said, what does that mean? That means if they say 6 essays, you write 8. That means that if it tells you to run 10 miles, you run 20. Because you want to be above the fray. You want to be top of the line. That's what you do. And if you do that, you get this. And if you get this, that means I can go to certain universities because these people in the universities are like this. And then there's Puente. You gotta hang out with your homeboys, right? We all have our communities. We all have our communities, but we have to love everybody else's community. It's just about the Latinos. It's about everybody. If you got the African American group, you got the Filipino group, you got you got everybody. We all got to come together. We can have our separate thing, get a crew, but we have to work together. It's not separatism or isolation or, I don't even part of it. What? Come on, brother. We are all the same reason. We are here to be successful and to help each other. White, black, yellow, red, whatever color, whatever religion, whatever diversity, gay, straight, whatever. We're here and we're human beings and we're helping each other to go forward, to be successful. And then, Phi Theta Kappa. What? Holy mackerel. Like James Brown said, I think I'm going to step back and kiss myself. This, you have to have good grades. Can't fool around with this one. You got to have good grades to have this. If I'm 51, I'm going to come back to school, I'm going to have good grades. What am I tell my kids? 59 years old, what kind of grades did you get, Dad? Well, I got a couple of C's, D here, why are you wasting your time? You do that, you're wasting your time, you're wasting the teacher's time. And then, the most important of all, that all of you are going to get. You can have all of this, because it wasn't just made for me. It's made for all of you. For all of you to receive, for all of you to participate in. Because you're all brilliant, you're all beautiful, you're all smart. But you gotta believe it. When you look in the mirror, back in the day, man, when I was doing dope, I look in the mirror and say, man, you look crazy. Look at you two. You're piping your hand, you're all shaking, you look in the mirror, and you're like, oh, God. But now, I look in the mirror and say, damn. You're fine, son. And why can I say that? Because of this. Because of these things that I have on me. Because my self-esteem is higher than it was before. Not my ego. Because my ego is inflated whether I'm a jerk or not. And my self-esteem only gets high when I do esteemable acts and I do good things. So, last but not least, the most beautiful of all, my diploma. I used to be a pharmaceutical doctor. I knew how to chop up cocaine real well. I knew how to roll joints while driving real well. I could take acid, I could take ecstasy, I could do this, and I was a pharmaceutical doctor without a diploma. And all I did is make poison for myself and for others. But I don't do that anymore. I came here, and they said, you know what, you're worthy of this diploma because of all the hard work that you have done, from all of the obstacles that you have overcome. You're not sitting around being a victim of your life. Oh, my dad was an alcoholic, so I'm a miserable person. Oh, my family divorced, so I have the right to be miserable and have a right to ruin my life. No, you don't. You don't have the right to ruin your life.